So here we are, second day of Show the Truth, and we've met a wonderful young man, Norman.
Perfect.
Sorry, I had his name wrong before. So Norman, and you live nearby here, Norman?
Yeah, well, I'm actually like a 15-minute drive away, but my workplace is right here.
Your workplace is right here. Yeah. So what's your work?
So like we're a media company, right? Vassam. Like we also do digital services like web design, marketing, graphic design. So
Oh, really?
we're starting our media company, so we interview people on different subjects. So when I saw you guys, I was very interested to talk to you guys.
Oh, good. Yeah. So we actually, Norman just did an interview with Rosemary, and so we thought, well, you know what, we'll interview Norman because he never gets on the camera. He's always behind the camera. He's got a wonderful voice, and I just wanted to ask you, Norman, your personal opinion on abortion. How do you stand? Whether it's for or against.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend that you're pro-life completely. If you have whatever, what is your stand? What would you say to somebody, Norman? What's your view on abortion?
So like, obviously abortion is not ideal. I don't think anybody doubts that. My only issue is, are these unplanned kids going to be good citizens, right? So I don't know if the mothers that were considering abortions would be able to raise their kids well. So I just feel like it might cause a lot of actual harm to society and kids that are sort of just generally resentful and angry in life. So yeah, to me, it's one of those where I obviously don't like it, and because I'm actually sort of religious, you know, I definitely don't like it, but I'm not gonna say I don't think women should be just like legally prevented from getting abortion. I don't think the government should ban them, is what I'm saying.
So what is it you don't like about abortion?
Well, yeah, so I definitely agree with you guys in the sense that a human life is human life regarding of where it's in, right? If the kid is, 4 weeks, a month or a couple months. So I remember before somebody told me that abortion is immoral after the heartbeat, and then I know there are different opinions about abortion being immoral after the baby starts moving or kicking or stuff like that. And so to me, because I know babies can be born premature and still survive, I know babies can be born like a couple, maybe 2-3 months early and still survive. So having an abortion 2-3 months before you deliver doesn't make any sense, right? So I always thought there might have been like a timeline of, oh, you get pregnant, you should have a certain amount of days to get an abortion. But it's just like, it's so subjective and fluff for me to say like, oh, after 2 weeks it's wrong or after a couple months it's wrong. I don't know what to say, and especially because I'm a man, I feel like I shouldn't really even give a timeline or really even have an opinion. I almost feel kind of wrong for having an opinion just because I'm not a woman. So it's one of those where I personally feel like I should just like observe,
Because you're a man.
Yeah.
And you don't have a uterus.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, just stepping back a bit there, Norman. When does human life begin? I guess that's really the question. Is it when the heart beats? Is it at the quickening at 4 months when you can actually feel the movement of the child? I'm asking scientific question, not a religious question.
Right.
What does science say about the beginning of human life?
So I'm not a scientist, of course, but I think it's at the heartbeat. That's my opinion. I don't know.
But I'm not really asking your opinion. I'm asking you what science teaches. Now, how old are you, Norman?
I'm 22.
Did you go to school in Canada?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate because you may not have been taught. Do you remember having any science lesson in high school or elementary school about
I didn't really pay attention too much, so it might not have been the system.
Okay, you don't want to blame the teacher then.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, you could look it up on YouTube. I mean, you got to be careful with YouTube because there's a lot of misinformation there.
Right.
But there's no argument, and there hasn't been for hundreds of years. Human life begins at the moment of conception, at the very moment.
Like as soon as the sperm cell connects with the egg, and then Like, I don't know.
Very soon after, like what basically happens is that at conception, the sperm actually digs a little tunnel into the egg, right, through the membrane of the egg, and then instantly there's a chemical that slams the door shut. Right. So no other sperm can get in. And then when that sperm gets inside the egg, the head bursts. It's beautiful. And all the DNA comes out. There are 46 human chromosomes, 23 from the mother and 23 from the father. And being a male, you have just as much right to talk about the life of your child as a woman, because you donated just as much. Yeah. It's just that at the beginning, your job sort of ends temporarily until the birth, and then you take over as the dad. And of course, you need to support your wife or your girlfriend or whoever it is that you conceived with during the pregnancy. That's an important role. Your role is not to say, "Oh, I'm just a man. You do what you like." That's your responsibility. We have a job as a man to take responsibility for what we've done. So the point is, human life begins at conception. You can verify that if you like.
Here's the thing, like, ideally, of course, you want to marry someone you love and then have kids. But it's like, I know the world isn't like that. Everybody knows, right? So there are a lot of people that shouldn't be having kids that will, get pregnant. And I'm just thinking about them. Like, people that are like, maybe serial killers or, crackheads and stuff like that are like just definitely not ready.
Well, what about adoption?
That's the thing. I don't think there are as many adopters as there are kids that need adoption. And
you have to wait 10 years to get an adoption in Canada. 10 years.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, I think that even for that kid, life will be very hard regardless.
How do you know?
I mean, in most cases, I think that...
So you're saying if there's a potential that a person might have a rough life, let's kill them, so they won't. And who are you?
No.
How do you know that's going to happen?
Let's say, because I know even you mentioned some sort of timeline, like shortly after the egg and the sperm cell conceives, or the heartbeat or something.
At the moment of conception, not the heartbeat. No, at the moment of conception, human life exists, and you cannot kill it after that. It's called a zygote.
Right.
The first cell is called a zygote. You don't know that anything's even happened.
Yeah.
By the time the woman even knows she's pregnant,
like, I'm just thinking, like, what is generally better for society, right? It's sort of like any other issue, like, immigration, or a lot of issues where, like, it's just like, oh, people should be, like, the world is free, people should be allowed to move, but you don't want a million people moving to your country that, I mean? It's like, it's one of those very touchy subjects where...
Well, this is an issue of life and death, though. This is an issue of whether anyone has a right to kill anybody else. Why should a woman have a right to kill her child, whether it's living inside her womb or it's living in her living room?
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
Yeah.
It's still a human being. That's what it comes down to.
I think I'm generally more anti-abortion than most, but personally right now, I'm not, like, dead on.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk more later, I'm sure, Norman, and I'm really happy that you took the time to stop to talk to us.
I generally like good discussions, even if we disagree.
Oh, absolutely.
I like the fact that it's respectful and that you guys took the time out to come, and the fact that you guys have good intentions, right? So to me, that means a lot. That I know a lot of people will get offended, but, like, you guys care about the babies. You guys want to make sure that they live. So, yeah, good job to you guys.
Thank you, Norman. I hope we're going to meet again sometime soon.
Thank you.